angels, welcome back. Hello my angels, welcome to the wonderful life of Dolly. I'm going to do something this week. I'm going to do something as I do every week. I must say that every week. I'm going to do something this week, but I am. As you can see, my hair is dark brown. Now, it's naturally, these are my natural eyebrows. So you can kind of see naturally the darkness of my hair. But I do dye it because I am going grey. At 41, I do get grey hairs. I don't want them. Some people embrace them. Well done to you. But for me, no, I don't want grey hairs. So I use a live colour and it's called Bittersweet Chocolate and I dye my hair. But I fancy a bit of a change. Now, I'm not going drastic. I'm not doing a brand mondo of I'm going to bleach my hair and no, I'm not that brave. I brought another live colour. Look at this. Look at this. And this is the ultraviolet. So for what it says on the back, which is this is my hair colour, this is what it's going to turn out like. If I just show you. So obviously get in focus. So this is like my hair colour and then hopefully this is what it should look like. Now obviously I'm not going to have all these curly bits because as you can see my hair is very thin, very straight. I mean, and these little wavy bits I did with a straightener. So obviously these are makeshift. Normally if I don't straighten it or if I mean if I don't make some kind of curl, my hair is like straight. I'm going to take you along and let you see yeah how we go. I've done different colours before, but yeah, I fancied a bit of a change. So yeah, today I am going to dye my hair. Oh, yeah. So yeah, let's see how we go. And I'm also growing it, so that should be fun. Normally I did have like a bob that would come. I'll tell you what, I'll insert a picture. That's what my hair used to look like when I first had it cut. I had it shorter than that, way short. I used to have like a pixie look, but then I wanted to grow it, obviously, yes. And then I got it to a length where I could have it all cut off one level to have that kind of bob look, but then it went higher in the back, so it kind of went up like that. But I'm deciding I want a bit more length this time, so I'm gonna grow it. So yeah, let's dye my hair.
One hour later.
I've done my hair, as you can see. Look at that. I've got like the purplest roots ever. But as far as my hair, it looks no different. I can't see, maybe in the light there's a bit of difference. I don't know, but it feels nice. I mean, look at that. That is amazing. But yeah, I like it. It's made me feel nice. So, and this is my hair when it's been washed and dried, straight. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I like it. It's made my roots look a bit different. I'm not bothered. It's only hair. Thanks for watching. Hello my angels, welcome to the wonderful life of Dolly. I'm with this fella again. I asked on my Facebook, I asked over my social media links I wanted to do a Q&A as part of this channel, this part. I'm sure we'll do one further down the line when I get more subscribers, but I thought I'd do a little one now. I did a live feed over Facebook, and I got some really good questions. I wrote them down on my phone. There isn't many, there's 11, so
woohoo!
We've got 11. So shall we
one more than 10, one less than 12. I don't know.
Okay.
If you see my hand moving in a weird way, I've got the dog in between my legs, so I'm not fondling myself in any way, shape or form. I am actually stroking the dog to keep him calm.
Yeah. So shall we crack on with the first question?
Okay.
So
what is the first question, Darlene? Question number one.
We got, where did you get Des from and when?
Well, Des, we got under a gooseberry bush.
No, Des is actually a funny story because I wanted a dog.
Yes.
And you were like, no, we're not having a dog. I don't want a dog. And I saw Des. I think, was it off Gumtree? And he was 5 months old when we found him. And he was, how much did we get him for?
In total, £100.
Yeah. They basically wanted rid of him. They'd already got 4 other dogs. Des was number 5. And they'd got I always get confused with the breed.
It was
that Japanese dog.
Japanese Akita.
Yeah, and basically
Japanese
when we
Akita,
went to go,
I think there was an Alsatian there as well. There's like 3 big dogs, a small dog, I think a little bit bigger than Des, like Cock Spaniel, and then there was Des.
And when we went and picked him up, he was in a playpen, and then they were like, oh, we can't understand why he's chewing through the playpen. I'm like, because dogs are not babies, they're like dogs and don't belong in playpens. But yeah, and we got him 3 years.
About 3.5 years ago.
3.5 years
nearly
ago.
4 years old.
So yeah, he's been with us that long.
Yeah.
And he's now part of the family. It is funny. It is a funny story because it belonged to the lady's daughter, and she was like, he's been chipped, and we'll send you over the paperwork. When I kept on asking like for the chip details so that I could have him chipped in our name, and when eventually I got him to the vets, they said, oh yes, he's been chipped, but it not been registered. Yeah. So we didn't even know, even though they told us he'd had all his injections, we were like, well, has he now? Because you said he was chipped and it was registered and it's not. So we had to basically kind of start from scratch with him, didn't we?
We had a conversation. It was something that came up on Facebook, and I remember it. We had the conversation about, I'd seen a post on Facebook saying about the amount of dogs that had been stolen recently in local areas, whether it was Newark, Leicester and stuff. And my brain going the way it goes, I was like, what if he's a stolen dog?
Yeah.
You know, as hard as it would be, if it turned out he was a stolen dog, to have that, you know, we'd feel better within ourselves to be able to say to the original owners, we had your dog, we've loved him for X amount of years, but we feel he needs to go back to you.
Yeah.
And it was that, it played on our mind for a couple of days, and then it was like, right, we phoned the vet up, went to the vets, and the primary focus of going to the vets was to get his chip scan to make sure that he wasn't a stolen dog. As it isn't, he isn't a stolen dog, he's perfectly fine. He's one of us. And we just got him sorted, but when they said that the tag had come back as it had been put in but not registered, it was that.
Okay,
Well,
so,
alright, so
we just basically started from scratch with him. But yeah, he's all healthy and probably a little bit overweight, but that's probably my fault.
He wasn't overweight the last
No,
time we went.
the last time he had a checkup a year ago.
Yeah.
And he was absolutely perfect, even though like I think that I overfeed him, but I don't care.
No, he's fine. He's still got the definition.
So the next question was how old are the boys? So the boys are 18. Joe's 18. Josh is 20. Jordan's 22. I had the boys quite young. I had got pregnant with Jordan when I was 17. I had him at 18. I had Josh at 20 and Joe at 22. And then it also says, does Steve have any kids?
I have a daughter, and we have a very strained relationship, and that's as far as I'm going with that. I don't want to put anything out there to have something come back and bite me on the bum. So I have a daughter, and we have a very strained relationship.
So the next question is, how does the rule of 6 work with us being a 5, and is it hard to see other people? I'm gonna say I'm not that we are playing any violin whatsoever. We are a very self-contained family anyway. Yes, there is 5 of us, but we don't associate with a lot of people because we haven't got many friends.
And it's not the case of sitting there saying we've got no friends because we're not likeable people. It's more to do with the fact of we expect from people what we put in, and there's a lot of times where people are willing to take from you, but they're not willing. And I'm sure that the viewers out there will probably know 1 or 2 people that.
I'm definitely a friend that you can call me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll answer.
If
I'll
your phone's
be
not
there.
on silent.
No, my phone's always loud. But yeah, I'm the kind of person that if you phone me at 3 o'clock in the morning, I will be there. But I expect that in return, and I have quite a few friendships where I've always been the runner, and then you get, well, if the roles, if I'm always going to your house, if I'm always checking on you, where are you for me? And so I don't have a go, I don't row with that person, I just pull back. So this is why I'm very standoffish about giving my friendship out, because I expect a lot. But I expect that in all my relationships, even with Steve, with the boys, with my mum. I'm there for a lot of people, but I expect it in return. And if you don't, then I'll pull back. And, that's why we're kind of okay as we are. So we see my mum. So we do a little bit of food shopping for mum. We make sure that she's got what she needs.
Yeah.
But other than that, we don't really. We speak to the neighbours, but again, that's over the fence. We're not in each other's houses, so we cope with it. We've coped with COVID and the lockdown,
as we have coped previously,
as we've done before. It's nothing. Which is us. Nothing.
Which
new
is the household.
Yeah, it's nothing new to us. So I would say we're just doing what we do.
We were doing social distancing before social distancing was a thing, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And the boys have major anxiety about going out anyway. So for them, being up in their bedrooms and only going out to have the haircut or...
would be normal.
Going out to have the haircut is normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one is, what was your favourite toy as a child?
Oh. I'm 42. And I had when I was a kid, I would say there was a lot of stuff that was the A-Team, Thundercats, He-Mans. So I had an A-Team gun, it was quite cool actually, because it broke down into like 3 or 4 parts. It had a scope on the top of it. It was like a shotgun size thing that you could, a handgun to a machine gun.
Oh, very good.
That would fire like little plastic bullets out. I had a lot of Thundercats toys. I had the figurines and the Thunder Tanker. He-Man, I had the He-Man with Battle Cat and stuff like that. What about yourself?
Well, the funny thing is, I grew up with 2 older brothers, and my mum brought girl toys. So I remember one Christmas I got like a pushchair, a doll that when you took its dummy out it screamed at you, an ironing board, and a clothes horse.
Do you ever think that giving kids ironing boards and stuff like that as a child is sort of like the precursor training for when they get older?
Yeah.
Because you are female, you have ironing, you have a washing machine and stuff like that.
That year, I remember Russell getting a tank that shot out these sucker pellet things that I absolutely love. And he also got Star Wars figurines, and it was the scene where they were flying through the woods.
Oh, on Endor.
Yeah, and you could press the button.
Oh, press the button and it would eject. Yeah,
and I'm like, I want that. So I actually played with them.
Yeah.
Or there was Russell's Action Men that I really liked. I never had a Barbie. I played with Russell's Action Men that if you pressed a toggle on the back of its head, its eyes would move from side to side, and its hair was like Brillo pads. That was. But I always wanted a Mr. Frosty and never got
Frosty.
one. Yeah, I never got a Mr. Frosty. I always wanted a Mr. But my mum was a single parent family, so I know that I'm not saying you did. I went to land one, but yeah, I wanted.
They weren't that good, to be honest with you.
Oh, did you have one?
No, my sister did.
Oh right, okay.
And it was one of those. I think it was more the ice cubes in bags where you put the ice cube in, you put the water in, and
they
then you
look so
freeze it.
good though.
Yeah, and then
I'm going to
waiting for the ice
say
cubes to
the
freeze.
80s adverts were really
Probably
good.
some of the best adverts for kids' toys.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Because it was like a story of an advert.
Not now. Buy this gun, shoot people, fantastic, nerf, nerf, nerf.
Yeah.
Whereas back then there was a story behind it.
Yeah.
There was some of them where they had actual animations, and it was like you'd wait to see the animation.
Everyone wanted KP nuts because you never know when the nibble will strike. And All White's Lemonade.
I'm a secret lemonade.
They were brilliant.
Yeah,
they
were brilliant adverts compared to what we've got now.
Yeah.
But
right, the next question was, what is your favourite song?
Oh.
This is really hard because I'm quite an eclectic taste. I don't like screamy music. You know that. I don't like that. But I would say I've got quite an eclectic taste of music, and I think it depends on my mood.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think mood.
If I want something, say I'm doing the housework, it's got to be 90s dance. There's nothing I won't do. Anything you want me to, call him Mr. Raider. Call him. It's proper housework songs. Then there's obviously like good soppy music.
Yeah.
But again, I would go back to like 80s. We're proper like 80s.
I think for me it's quite a difficult one, because I think that as I'm getting older, my taste is maturing more in regards to the music that I actually listen to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs that I'll listen to now that as a kid I'd never listened to.
I tell you what, I don't get the WAP song. Cardi B. I don't know why people are really liking that.
No, it's been quite funny, because you've said something about a song and I'm like, I've got no idea what you're talking about. I think in some ways I'm semi up to date with today's music, but I think my music cut off probably sort of 2010 in a fashion. There's a few songs that I like, and it's like Jordan listens to that grime stuff, and some of it I listen to it and I'm like, what the hell? But then every now and then he'll play a song and I'm like,
really
I like that.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily what they're saying, it's more the beat.
Yeah.
And I think that's what does. So in regards to my music, I have songs that I like that I could listen to on a daily basis, but I would say probably 10 years ago I'd have said, I'd have had 3 or 4 songs that were my favourite songs, but now I think I'm more of I have songs that meld together depending on my mood.
I think a lot of it is on your mood, how you're feeling, isn't it? If you're having a good day or a bad day, it depends the music you listen to. Yeah. Right, so the next one was, what's your favourite TV show as a kid and now? So if we do as a kid, what was your favourite TV show as a kid?
Thundercats.
Really?
Yeah.
You see, again, having 2 older brothers, they demanded what was, well, they said what was on telly. So for me, it was Airwolf.
Yeah.
The A-Team.
A-Team, I'd say was close second.
Oh, who's the man that... Fall Guy.
Fall Guy.
Yeah. But then cartoon-wise, I would watch Buttermoon, Moomins, and Fraggle. Yeah. Yeah, and Fraggle Rock.
Doom, doom, doom.
It got to be.
No.
And then now, I would say, I don't really watch a lot of telly now. I have the telly on, but it's mainly for noise. But I wouldn't say I'm not into my soaps. I stopped watching soaps when I started working. And being a carer, you're out of the house 12 hours a day, so you can't go, hold on, love, I know you want to be put to bed, but EastEnders is on. So then it got to the point that, yes, I could record them, but by the time you got home, I wanted something to eat. I wanted to go to bed. So I never watched them on catch-up. So I don't know the storylines on any of the programmes.
It's been quite funny because there's been a couple of times when I've come downstairs and you've had the telly on, and like you've had the news on, and it's just been continuation, and I've come downstairs and Emmerdale's on.
Yeah, and
I'm there like, oh, what's going on? And you're there going like, I've got no idea. And the last thing I remember, I'm going to say right that I never was a fan of Emmerdale, but the last thing I remember in Emmerdale was, if I'm not mistaken, the plane crash.
That was years ago.
That was years back. I never bothered with it.
Yeah.
In regards to EastEnders, the last thing I remember properly about EastEnders was when Bradley fell or got thrown off the top of the Vic.
You see, the last time I watched EastEnders, the two sisters died in the pool. Roxy and... There you go, Roxy and what's her name?
There you go, I wouldn't know. And I never really bothered with others. I mean, there was a little bit... Well, is Casualty classed as a soap, or would it be more of a drama? That was another one that I could never really watch, never got into.
No.
But, I'd say for me, Thundercats an 18.
To be honest, now I watch a lot more YouTube than I do...
Yeah.
I watch a lot more...
films
because there's
stuff
documentaries on YouTube that creators have done that I think are absolutely brilliant. There's the funny parts of YouTube. It's quite diverse, YouTube, if you want... Do you know what I mean? Instead of...
I'd probably say if we were to go for a TV programme that we could both sit down and watch, I'd probably say Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I do. But again, they've not brought out anything.
But
so
that's
you're watching
finished now, so you're watching the reruns. But I'd say for recent, I'd say Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, with me, I like Top Gear, but I know Top Gear is not necessarily your thing.
No.
You like, I've seen it sometimes.
Some of them
with the challenges, where they do like when they've done the Botswana and the Vietnam, they're quite good. But
when they did
to
the
sit there and go power, and
when
you sit there
when they did the caravan one, that was funny. But I'm not interested about cars. To me, a car has to look pretty. I'm not bothered about how it runs.
But then we have a different definition of what makes a car look pretty.
Lots of gadgets.
Lots of gadgets, but then I could sit here and say an Aston Martin, aesthetically pleasing, but not Dolly's cup of tea. So that's where we are with that.
Okay, so what's your favourite fast food?
It'd have to be Burger King.
You see, I was just thinking about this because I was just looking through the questions, and I've always said, if you had McDonald's chips, a Malteser cushion from KFC, and a Burger King from Burger King, you've got the perfect fast food meal. Yeah. That would be the perfect.
Yeah.
But they'd have to be fresh McDonald's chips.
Yes.
Pure, just freshly salted, freshly cooked, Malteser cushion, and a double Whopper from Burger King. Yeah. You've got the perfect takeaway.
Yeah, I'd say that because the problem I found is like you have McDonald's and I would have a Big Mac meal and two double cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
I would have KFC, and I will have the burger that's there with popcorn chicken or whatever else was available. But then probably come home and then an hour later I would sit there and go, oh, I'm going to have some crisps or some biscuits. Whereas with a Burger King, because I supersize it.
I tell you, I'll link the video where we went to Burger King and you'll see. And it's like
I'll have that,
burger.
And then I won't touch anything else for the rest of the night. I'm perfectly fine with eating just that. But I do agree with you with the McDonald's fries and the cushion. That would make the perfect fast food takeout sort of thing.
So, anywhere in the world, where would you like to go?
Ooh.
I know mine. Because we spoke about it. I mean, I like Skeggy, but if I could choose anywhere in the world...
I don't know, without you.
Barbados.
Well, Barbados.
I'd like to go to Barbados. And have a or Dubai, the huts that are on the water.
Yeah, huts on the water.
Something out the way, something serene.
I think
But
I
then
don't
saying
know.
that, I'd like to go to the south of France, the quaint little towns and Italy and things like that. The historical part of
I've
things.
never been one of these ones that sort of. I'm not into like going to Ibiza or anything like
No,
that. I'm not into the club scene in any way, shape, or. But having said that, I wasn't really into the club scene when I was younger either. So it's not as though
I went clubbing,
I've reached 40 years old and I don't want. I enjoy a night out, but I don't. See, some people go away for a week and it's that whole thing of, you know, like they get there, they're drunk, and literally until the moment they go home, they're drunk, and then they spend 2 weeks recovering at home.
I get it
As a youth, yeah, I understand it, but
as-
it wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't one of those. I'm sort of more of a homebody when it comes to it. But I think if I could go anywhere abroad, I'd like to go to the Colosseum in Rome. That'd be quite. Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yeah.
Great Wall of China.
So like historical things, isn't it?
yeah.
It's like
Route 66 in America.
Would
I'd
you?
love to do the East
road.
Coast to the West Coast highway sort of thing. That's like
because they have
that'd be
things
quite a
on
good
there
one.
as well, don't they? They have like attractions as you're
Yeah.
going down there. Like, don't they have like the biggest frying pan or something
Yeah,
like that?
the biggest golf, the biggest laggy band ball in the world
Yeah.
and sort of thing.
Yeah, so that
And I think it'd be one of those. I think that if I was going to go somewhere for the sake of going, it would have to be somewhere where I could come back and sit 10 years time and go, oh, do you remember when we did Route 66?
Yeah.
Or even one in the UK, which is going up into Scotland, and you can do the English Route 66, which is basically travelling all the way around the coast of Scotland, which is...
we've spoke about that.
We spoke
though,
about that.
Yeah.
It's about you drive up and you start off in Inverness, you finish in Inverness, but you go literally right the way around the coast of Scotland. It's I had a look and planned it out, and to say that you could drive for a day, stop for a day, it would take you about 20 days to do it in total.
Oh, that's quite
So you
nice.
drive to your first point,
Yeah.
but then the next day you'd have a rest so you could
Yeah.
explore the area.
Yeah. I
And
like
it was sort of that. So yeah, I don't know, in regards to going somewhere, I think it'd have to be somewhere where you'd have a good memory of going, something
Yeah.
that you could take some nice photos.
that. Yeah. A memorable thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your biggest fear?
Wasps.
Really?
Don't like them. No. Fear.
I would say mine would be the future and the boys' future.
Yeah, I would say that. I'd probably say, obviously, because things are, you know, and I don't want to quote Terminator here, but things are not set.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at it, and you can't say what's going to happen tomorrow. I think one of the funniest things is you can sit. Again, ADHD tick. I think one of the funniest things, or not so much funny, is, you know, there's a story that I read of a man who turned around and says, you know, oh, I'm not lucky enough to get hit by a bus, walked out the house, got hit by a bus. Those kind of things. You can't take anything with a pinch of salt. I could walk out the house now, go crossing the road, and somebody comes speeding down the road and they're changing his CD, gets smacked by a car. Same as with you. You know,
Yeah.
every time, you know, but it's that paradox thing of somebody said to you, between the hours of midnight and midnight in one day, you was going to die, what would you do? Would you stay in the house? But then you would sit there and go, but what if me staying in the house was what killed me? What if going out was what, you know? So I think that my biggest fear would be the unknown.
Yeah.
In regards
just
to,
the
you've got to
future.
sort of plan ahead.
Yeah. And it's just mainly about the boys, that they'll be settled and they'll be happy and they'll be just happy. I think if someone said to me, don't worry because I'll show you a little bit, and they're happy and they're with partners and children or not, or just happy, then I would die a happy woman.
Yeah.
So the last one we've got, and I've left it till last, is how much has your life changed in the last 10 years?
How much has my life changed in the past 10 years? Well, I live in Newark now.
Yeah, so you've moved counties.
Moved counties, literally, from Leicestershire to Nottinghamshire.
Yeah.
Or Shire, whatever you want to call it. Yorkshire puddings.
Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding. Got jobs, lost jobs. Got qualification.
Yeah.
An
What have you got a qualification in?
MVQ level 2 in railway engineering.
There you go.
Which is...
You met somebody.
Yeah, had no qualifications before. Met somebody.
Jeez, planning to get married.
Planning to get married at some point.
Jesus Christ, the obvious is like sat right next to you.
I know, my brain. I think it's that we've got plans that we want to do for the future, but at the moment, with the way that the world is, I can't sit here and go, right, this is definitely going to happen next year, because
we'd like to get married.
We'd like to get married next year,
but you're planning to get married. You've got a planning action.
Yeah, we've got a plan to get married.
So obviously, 10 years ago, you didn't have that plan, did you?
Well, no, I was married.
Exactly.
So here we go. I could do a
funny.
full rundown in 10 years, right? Yeah. So in 10 years, I was married. From 10 years ago, I was married, separated from partner, moved into my own place, moved out of my own place to a new county, got divorced, got numerous amounts of jobs, qualification, blah 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 blah. Yeah, getting married.
I was actually separated. I was just so I had an 8, a 10, and a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
And newly separated from my second marriage. So where you were still married, I was saying bye-bye. Well, he said bye-bye.
Yeah.
And then, so I was starting the single life.
Yeah.
Because I was on my own for about 8 years before we got together. So yeah. Newly separated. So yeah, I got some qualifications as well. I got my level 2 in health and social care.
Mm-hmm.
Got jobs, worked my way up from a cleaner all the way up to a deputy manager of a care home. Realised that was just totally stressed out. Lost babies.
Mm-hmm.
Gained a dog.
Yeah.
So I proper changed.
Yeah.
Proper changed. A lot. So yeah. Okay, so that's it. That was all the questions.
That was all the questions.
Thank you very much for asking them. I really enjoyed that, actually.
Yeah, it was quite good.
Yeah, I like things like that.
Yeah.
If you want to ask us anything else...
find us another 22 questions and we'll answer them.
Yeah, don't forget to leave them in the comment box. And, if you enjoyed watching this... He's looking across the road.
I didn't know if it was going to have a delivery today or not.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, yeah, your thingy coming. Something coming.
Yes. So if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe
and turn on notifications, and then you keep up to date with everything that's going on
with this channel. And we shall see you soon.
Yes, undoubtedly we will.
Have a good day. Bye.
See you later. Bye.
myself a real good time. I feel alive. And the Joshua made his mother a cup of coffee.
Just need you to lay down and be quiet. I'm trying to record. Yeah. Yeah, audio. Yeah. Can you remember the name of them, Joel?
I hope you can't see my bra through this top. I'd change it. I spilled some on it. I think it was coffee. I can't remember. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ready? And don't forget to look into the camera, not the lens thing. Not the picture.
So I just need to stare there.
That means we spoke about it and you've got no idea.
How long the brain's going now? Oh, dog bony parts sticking in me bloody leg there. That's what I say. Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding.
Not Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding.
Oh my god, forget it.
This could be a whole. We could literally do a whole video of that. Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding.
Yorkshire pudding.
Jesus Christ. Oh, you just clipped me.
Oh, I didn't mean to. That was an accident. This
Yeah.
one isn't.
So, yeah.